Hey, hi everyone. Let's have a look on fail-safe feature in Snowflake. Okay, what is fail-safe? We already know the time travel, right? And fail-safe is going to come after time travel. Fail-safe is a Snowflake last resort data recovery mechanism. Okay, this is the last option to retrieve our data if suppose some disaster happen and all. So think of it's like the time travel is your safety net. Okay, we can control it for 1 to 90 days. Coming to the fail safe Snowflake safety net. Okay, they control it always for 7 days. So I hope everybody understood. Time travel is for our safety net, means we have a time to retrieve our data from 1 day to 90 days, whatever retention period which we have given. So once it completed fails time travel, then it is going to go into the fail safe. So the key facts of fail-safe is it provides a non-configurable 7 days recovery window. Okay, it is going to give only 7 days actually, and that too also can reduce your 7 days. Starts after time travel period ends. Okay, it is not going to start once you down deleted data, truncated data. Once the time travel is completed, then fail-safe is going to start for you. Can only be performed by Snowflake support team, not by us. Okay, to get the data, once the time travel is completed, we have to write an email or message to the Snowflake support team. They have the rights to retrieve our data and give it back to us. Mostly, this feature is for disaster recovery, like system failures, security breaches, and all. Okay, recover may take several hours to days actually, because this is supported by Snowflake, and it also go into the inner micro partitions and get the data. So it is going to take several hours to 1 day. Available for all Snowflake editions like Standard, Enterprise, and the Business Critical. This is a few information about the failsafe. Failsafe is a Snowflake last actually. That is a recovery mechanism which we are going to use and supported by the Snowflake people only. How Snowflake, how Snowflake failsafe fits in the data lifecycle. We already know. This is active data, which is current data. And then time travel is going to start once you deleted or dropped, if updated something you did to your data, then time travel is going to start. Then after that, failsafe is going to start and give for the 7 days. Once failsafe is also done, the data is going to purge. You are not going to retrieve our data anymore. Okay. Example, suppose you deleted your data at day 0. You can, if you are going to give 90 days as a retention period, then till 90 days, you can undrop all the things and you can get the data using the time travel feature. From 91 to 97 day, we can get Snowflake support scheme and recover our data using the failsafe. After 98th day, we cannot get the data. It's permanently gone. And example, the standard edition. Okay, this is for the enterprise I'm telling you. Standard edition, we already know, right? It has only 1 day for time travel. Okay, and 2 to 8 days for fail safe. Okay, and ninth day there is no data for that. This standard is a very basic edition. Mostly in the real-time production use case, we don't go with the standard edition. And what is the real-time use cases when this is going to useful actually? We already know accidental table drops, deletes, and all. Suppose a developer dropped a production table for 5 days ago, time travel is set to 1 day, and time travel got expired, then failsafe still holds the data and we can raise a ticket to the support guys. And how can we do that one? So this is a kind of a small steps which I have given. So how can we contact? So I already told you, right? We have to raise a ticket in the community.snowflake.com to retrieve our data. And also the use case numbers two is something happened to ransomware and security breach happened to our data warehouse and all. At the time, due to this malicious actor encrypted, means the data is encrypted and deleted all the data into our account due to this security breach and all. So at the time, the time travel is also going to corrupt actually. At that time, we are going to use the failsafe. That is the last line of defense for our system. And Snowflake maintains failsafe data in a separate encrypted storage layer. Okay, this is not accessible to any user actually. It is going to read by the Microsoft only. See, account level attacks also immune. So if suppose the highest account is the account admin, right? If some attack happened to account admin also, our data is saved with the failsafe. Okay, the use case number 3 is hardware system failures at Snowflake. Okay, internally something happened at the time also. They are going to fetch data from using the time failsafe. Okay, so these are the few queries. How can we view the failsafe storage for your account? Okay, so as of now we are not using anything, but if you want, you can also see. Please have a look on what columns I'm using here. See, fail safe bytes. Okay, fail safe bytes retained for clone bytes. Okay, these are the few important things which I wanted to show you. Just to query these things and understand how can you check total fail safe storage at the database level. If you wanted to understand the database level, then see a table storage metrics actually you have to use. Okay, mostly we don't go for the Snowflake failsafe, but worst case we'll go because okay. So as of now we don't have any failsafe. That's why it is coming as a zero. So monitor storage trends over time. Okay, suppose if you wanted to understand the storage at the time, then you can go with this one. Okay, so have some normal syntax is there, you can solve easily. And also one minute I did the correct column is stage bytes and fail-safe bytes. The issue is with the column name. That's what I'm telling you. So you can just you doing the read name. Okay, stage bytes. Okay, and one more thing is the fail-safe bytes, not the average bytes. And you can run your query. It is going to work for you. Okay, so that's the thing, and you can use the cortex code anyway if you are facing any error. So what is the check the fail safe recovery billing? Okay, because this is not at all free service. Okay, this is a paid service. If you are using, what is the billing you are getting regarding that fail safe? Okay, see, this is a paid version only, not the free version. So, and also there is little bit of comparison between the time travel and the fail safe. We already know this is a 1 day to 90 days. This is 7 days only. So configurable, yes, we can configurable this one, but fail safe we cannot configurable. It is automatically there. Who can retrieve user, and this is the support like support team. It is very instant and it take hours to days. And purpose is a self-service recovery. But for fail safe disaster recovery, user accessible, yes, but the fail safe is no. Disabled, yes, but fail safe we cannot disable. But except for transient and temporary table, all the things have a transient. All the tables has an fail safe actually. Storage cost for both we have to pay the storage cost. Okay, and the best practices is so use the time travel as a primary recovery tool, and worst case go with the fail safe actually. And also if you have 1 or 2 days in the retention data retention times in a day, and please increase for that data retention to according to your use cases at that. How can we retrieve based upon the table name? Okay, mention the table name and set data retention as a 90 days. That's it. That's all you can do. Okay, then you can see your database and all. And for if you are using non-critical data like staging, ELTL, ELTL processing, and intermediate zones, at the time go with the transient table. And when we have to go with the this one temporary table, means if it is a session scope at that time go with the temporary table. If you are going to create the permanent table, compulsory failsafe is going to add for you by default. Okay, so if you are going to go with the session scope, go with the temporary table. And also the best practices is monitoring failsafe storage to control the cost. I already showed you about it, how can we monitor. And also there is one more query, like this and all we can write as your wish actually. The major goal is to have a look on the how the cost is going to happen for the respective fail-safe attack. Okay, and if this is a repeated only, so retention period is max 1 day for the transient table, and temporary table we don't have any fail-safe. And for external table, data leaves outside the Snowflake. At that time, we no need to apply any no fail-safe, and stages internal stages, external stages also we are not going to applicable the fail-safe. And coming to the advanced fail safe, okay, internally how it is happening and all I'm teaching now. So when you clone a table, the clone initially shares storage with the original. Okay, suppose there is a table you are cloning, and what about the fail safe at that time? So at that time, the fail safe cloning doesn't double your fail safe cost immediately. Okay, because it is going to clone the data, and the data is stored in the same location, the same partitions where the first table has the data. Okay, that's the one use case. So this is how the cloning is going to happen. Create table, table name, clone and cloned table. Okay. This is the clone share micro partitions to the originals. Okay, fail-safe storage only grows as a data in clone or original changes actually. So the cloning and all, you have to remember that there is no extra cost actually. Advanced concepts number two is the data retention actually. So standard, we are going to give 1 day as a time travel and 7 days for the fail-safe. Total 8 days of production will be there. And enterprise edition 99 plus 7 days, 97 protection will be there. If you wanted to disable time travel, you can do, but automatically fail-safe is going to apply for the permanent table. Okay, that's how it will be. If you wanted to alter your table retention, you can do like this. And also, suppose fail-safe stores changed micro partitions, not the entire table actually. Whatever is changing happening for the fail-safe, you are going to store the micro partition. Table has 1000 micro partitions actually, 100 GB total. The update happened to 10 rows affecting 5 micro partitions. That's all, because Snowflake is a columnar storage and a distributed layer, right? I'll explain you how this micro partitions is going to work and the architecture is also built. Okay. And And one thing is like running the long queries. At that time also, time travel queries delays data from moving into the fail-safe. Okay. If the queries are running lot of time and the data loss during the long analytics at that time also, it will take some times actually. So data replication is going to happen. How it is going to happen also, I have given the full details actually. And for transient table and temporary table, the cost optimization strategy, how it will be also, I have given very carefully. The common mistakes every most of the people will do is that treating fail-safe as a backup solution. Please don't treat a fail-safe as a backup solution. It is very, very costly. Okay. And the recovery also require lot of efforts for the engineers or Snowflake engineers. But and also it is very slow, right? Hours to days, it is going to take time to get our data back. Always define proper backup strategy using time travel and using the clones. Okay, that's the major suggestion they are giving from the Snowflake side. Ignoring fail-safe storage cost. Okay, please don't ignore the fail-safe cost. That is a very costly it will be having. Using permanent table for temporary and staging. They don't use permanent table for the temporary and intermediate layers. Use a transient or temporary table for your purposes. Assuming fail-safe can recover individual rows also. No. Okay, it will take. It is going to get data from tables, schemas, and database. Okay, not it is not going to retrieve any. Not a row level recovery actually. If you wanted to recover entire table, it is going to pick up the table at that time actually. Earlier also time travel we have seen, right, at offset 5 minutes back, how my data look like before execution of the statement, how my data look like. So like us, failsafe is also getting the data, not understanding the recovery timeline. So just try to understand actually. Most of the people are struggling these things. Check which tables has the highest failsafe storage by executing this one. See, just I am querying my table, then you can understand what is the. As of now, I don't have anything, right? Just you can try these things, and also just I'm giving some examples also. How can you create a table, transient table, and temporary table, and inserting few records? Just I'm showing you, because fail safe and all, that is a in dependency with the Snowflake. I'm not going to test permanent doesn't exist or not authorized. Okay. Oh, good. First of all, create the tables. Okay. So the problem is we have to select the database here. Okay. Try to execute all these things. Then you can try actually show tables. Then you can see the retention, data retention time actually is retention the column. By default, we are not giving any retention. It is one actually. So if you wanted to change, you can also change. So this is the mostly used strategies which I'm giving. So you can have a look and deeply how can this is going to work and all. Okay. So now I'm inserting some records. Okay. So show test. This is the three tables which I have. See for temporary permanent table, what are the different changes and all you can see actually. So no issues on that part. Okay. So I'm creating a table and I'm loading a data. Okay. And then we are going to delete, drop and undrop at the time. So the time travel is 0, then failsafe is going to start from day 1 or next minute onwards. But that one is going to done by Snowflake team. So as of now, just understand the fail-safe concept. It is a very good important interview question. Just understand some theoretical knowledge and just explore the tables which I have given you, right? So information schema, how can we validate the cost of the time fail-safe and all. You can have a look on that one. Thanks for listening to the class. Try to practice every day. Then you are going to get a good knowledge out of this. Thank you all. Bye. Have a great day.